I got a kid, so I'm doing okay with the car, and
I am Abir Roy Chaudhary, and I am driving Porsche Panamera Turbo Executive. So this is 2017 manufactured, 2018 registered, and I have done somewhere around 9,800 kilometers on this car. This is definitely not a daily driven car. Jitna bhi kilometer chala hai, this has mainly been on the city. Hardly any highway miles in it. Someone who wants a Porsche wants a Porsche. It's a blindfolded kind of a thing. That's number one. Number two is I was using a Cayenne before this. I was pretty much satisfied. Even it was a diesel, I still have the car with me. So that is the longevity of the car. It's more than 10 years now. It's running perfectly fine. So Porsche has that this thing in me. And second is this is more about the performance. Although I know this is a bit contradictory that I am driving it in the city and I'm talking about performance, but then yet again, even if you can't enjoy it, it's in your head. This was a very impromptu decision. I saw the car ready on the showroom. I went and like I had ordered it previously, but then once it came in, I had no other thoughts about it at that point of time. Or a similar kind of car, of course, a different budget level, but would have been an RS7, the Audi RS7. And of course the Mercedes Maybach that used to become coming in a CBU version at that point of time. Of course, this another plus for to this car is a CBU, completely built unit straight from Stuttgart. I was using a E400 Cabriolet at a point of time. So E400 Cabriolet, that was again a star car, a completely built unit all the way from Germany. So there I had zero problems with the vehicle. Just after 2 years of using the car, I planned to go for a Mercedes GLC, which was of course a CKD unit, not a CBU unit. So I had like every kind of possible problems with the car, and in fact I had got, like, the Mercedes was courteous enough to get the car replaced for me after 6 months. So maybe you can call it psychological, but then it comes to me that, you know, CBU cars are way better than CKD cars. I'm very finicky about cars. So again, I believe that even if I do my additives in this car, the quality of fuel in the highways is anyway poorer than what we get in the city. So that might as well damage the engine of the vehicle. So I'm very more cautious about that than the little pressure I might as well get while going in the highways. This is a petrol. So initially I was using 97 क्योंकि 100 यहाँ पे available नहीं था. अभी हो गया है available, तो अभी 100 में switch कर गया, which is somewhere around 20 to 25% higher price than the regular petrol we use in all the other cars. That's number one. And number two is the mileage. Again, that seems like a joke because this being a petrol V8, so this gives a very low mileage. Like if you are pulling it hard, then it will give you somewhere around 2.5, 3. And if you're comfortably driving it, well, Porsche has managed that pretty well. That should be 6.5 to 7. The parts are always on a backlog. Since there is not a functional dealership, it takes quite some time for the parts to come in. So that's a bit of a hassle for me. And considering the fact that I love keeping my cars within the warranty. So in spite of this being 4 years old, I still have warranty for the next 3 years. There are two kinds of service that happens to a car. One is the major service that happens every 4 years. There you change precisely everything, all the filters, the entire oil, transmission fluid, everything. You have to change according to their standards to keep the car in warranty. You have to change the spark plugs as well. So it's a hefty amount of money that you have to spend. So that's somewhere around 2 lakhs for one service, the major service. And the minor services which you have to get it done every year, somewhere around 70 to 80k is the price bracket. That's the basic mobile change, engine oil change, and the filters, like if it is required, since my car has got very low miles in it, so there's no requirement of a immediate regular filter changes. But yeah, that is the basic part. Like you don't need to get the transmission oil changed. You don't need to get the spark plugs changed. So the minor service which I'm talking about is the mobile change and the engine oil change. That's what it is all about. There was a scratch on the rear bumper, so I had to get it repainted. So I got it done from Porsche itself. The quality of paint is pretty good. They're using the OEM paint. The company that's supplying the paint is Worth, and the brand of the paint is Glasurit. So, and it's a water-based paint. So that was pretty much seamless for me. So I got it done from the insurance. For panel charges, standard is around 20,000 plus GST. Whichever car I am driving, so I make sure there is a hydrostatic damage covered. There is a flood and the engine gets seized, it's covered by the insurance. Then another thing that's apart from the rat part, there's fuel adulteration. A lot of times, people tend to put in the wrong fuel, or maybe the fuel had too much of impurities and the engine gets choked because of that. So that is another one. Fuel adulteration is covered. Third is the most important, rodent bite. So not only Mercedes, any premium brands, I don't know how they find the space, because everything, if you just lift the car, everything is covered. But they would somehow manage to get inside and do some damages. So if it is a minor damage, then what generally the brands do is they do a bud connector to the damaged part and they hit it up and get it back again, if the voltages are running fine. If it is a major damage, the entire wiring harness needs to be changed, and that is a very big affair, like somewhere around 15 to 20 to 25 lakhs maybe, depending on the vehicle. With the add-ons, the insurance amount goes pretty high.
What about the tire cover?
Yeah, of course, the tire is covered, the rims are covered, everything is covered in this car. The rims are a replacement. Tire, they calculate the depreciation, like how much the car has run, they measure the tread depth, and they proportionately bear the expenses with you. If I don't go for the add-ons, the basic insurance for this car would be somewhere around 1 lakh, 1 lakh 20, 1 lakh 30 max, and with the add-ons it goes somewhere around 4. Standard warranty for Porsche is 3 years. Then we do another 2 years of extension. Like, I generally don't keep my car for long, but this is an exception. This is gonna stay for me maybe till the time I can drive it. I don't want to sell it off. So I generally flip the cars in 3 to 4 years. But this particular car, I got the warranty done because there are a lot of things which should not fail. For example, I'm talking about a different car right now. I had a GLS. So on the second year, somehow the fuel pump failed. And like, I was not being able to figure out initially that what's happening. Like, it's on the main road standing and I'm not being able to drive it. So such kind of things are very expensive. The suspension. Okay, suspension comes under consumable, but at the same time, there is a life tenure to the suspension. So if it is covered within that, they generally get it replaced. So for that is the only purpose I got it done. So first it was 3 years and 2 years, and then last in another, like this year I got it done for another 3 years. That's also a very expensive affair. For 3 years, I had to pay 7,80,000 rupees. Kilometer limit, we don't have to think much about it because these cars hardly get driven so much.